Hello Linux fans, Rob here, and it's time to review another LQ community poll where you, the Linux Quest community, gets to vote on the poll question and comment. And I am just absolutely loving this. I love the interaction here with you, the Linux Quest community. And so we're going to go ahead and read through this week's poll, which is, would you use Deepin Linux as your main operating system? I'm kind of continually surprised by the last few polls, and I'm surprised by this one. I did not expect to see an overwhelming 63% of you say no, while 19% of you said yes, 16% of you said it is spyware, and only 1% of you say that you love it. Now, this is out of 221 votes over 3 days. And just a little Linux Quest tip here, if you would enjoy seeing your post read, stay tuned because we'll be doing more of these polls in the future. And so now let's go on to the reading the comments section. And before we jump into all of these, I posted a photo, so let's hop on down to that. And there's just a few comments here. On the photo. It's a great logo by Cats Dogs, or CATSDGS. Jack Zed said, look cool to me. Simon Templar says the Deepin desktop environment is great. I would suggest running it on Manjaro or Antergos. So really any Arch derivative or Arch itself. And Simon, I agree with you there. I think that is a good way to do it. And then Abid Ali says it's the most beautiful Linux distro I have ever seen, and it is indeed beautiful. Now we're going to go back up to the comments section under the actual poll, and these are typically people who have voted. So I'm going to mess up some names here, and I just want to apologize to you if I didn't correctly pronounce your name. Ashish Patel says, it is spyware. Wouldn't use it even if my life depended on it. So that was a 2-thumb-up vote there. And then Theologus, again, and I'm not going to try your last name. I would really butcher that, so my apologies. But you went on to say that you love it. You love the eye candy. You love the stability. And you love the lack of updates. You love the Deepin apps, and most of all, you love the store. You say that it is the only store that has everything. It even has Windows programs with one-click install. And then if you wanted more recent software, you would just download that in a deb package. Now I'll back up to say that the Windows programs are not true traditional Win32 or exe programs that you're installing. It's actually web links to the Windows app, so it would be a web link to Office, for example. But thank you very much for your vote there. Randomizer says it is spyware. That was your vote. You don't trust using it, so thank you for that vote, Randomizer. Michael Porter said no. I've looked at it a few times. Certainly a nice looking distro and all, but I'm sticking with Solus, and Solus is certainly a good choice there. Eric 40 said no, or voted no. I don't like GNOME or GNOME-based desktop environments. Personal preference, of course, but I did use it for a month and it was fine. So thank you for your vote there. Rose Peddler said, yes, I've been using it exclusively for the past 12 months and have had absolutely no issues. Unfortunately, I couldn't say this about Linux Mint. And re-spyware, regarding spyware, I suspect the Chinese government are more interested in micromanaging their own population than in spying on anyone in the Western world via an operating system. And, you know, you may have a valid point there. From what I've read into, the spying that's going on has to do, or is tied in with the store, where it's feeding back statistics on what people are installing, or at least that's my surface understanding. So Z Williams Dev, or Z Williams Dev, your vote was no. It looks really good, hands down. It's one of the prettiest distros, but unless they allow you to access another software repository, no thanks. So thank you very much for your vote there. And Mario, Zenarju, I'm not going to try it. Your vote was no, Mario. It feels like it forces me to use it on its own way. The custom-built tools, custom-built interface, custom-built everything. I'm just not feeling the Linux side of it. With that said, it's one heck of a beast. So thank you very much for your vote there. And I think it is kind of a beast as far as operating systems are concerned. Desktop environments are concerned. Let me back up on that. It certainly outshines in appearance many other desktop environments within Linux. So IAMAWE SOME 7478. So Maui SOME 7478. I thank you very much for taking the time to vote. Your vote was it is spyware. The fact that it is backed by the Chinese government sends telemetry in the background and forces me into a specific way of doing things. And that's already enough for me to say no. This list could just keep going. So thank you, 7478, so much for your vote. Thomas Meyer says no. Beautiful desktop, but I don't trust it, and I agree with you. It is a beautiful desktop. So Noah Adams voted no. So few customization options, not the way Linux should be. And I agree, there are areas there. You get into the file manager and things like that where there's no option there to change things. And after a while, it does feel limiting. So Cats Dogs, I believe, CATSDGS, no. And then you said maybe. So thanks for your vote. AJCD1S1PLE, and I'm sure if I stared at that long enough, I would get that correct. But your vote was no. You tried, but you found some bugs here and there. And then Harry Bokimans, and I'm probably butchering that again. My apologies. You voted yes because it's open source. You can see the code. Microsoft is really spyware. So thank you for your vote. And I believe also, I'll just interject here, well, I don't believe, I am 99.9% sure that Deepin OS uses its own custom kernel, and I know that's a concern for many of you as well. Abid Ali said yes, your vote was yes. Greetings and salutations, Mr. Rob. I'm a really huge fan of your work and for the community. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You go on to say that Deepin is a really polished and stable distro, but you're sticking with Linux Mint. You need help. The very slow mirrors is keeping you from switching to Deepin. And I agree, they do have, you can change the mirrors. You can go in and change the location of where the mirror reside or where the server resides. But even in doing that, I have just found that it's just not as fast as other distros. So installation of packages from the Deepin store or even updating them takes hours. And let's go on here. I agree, it takes a long time on certain apps. You have a decent internet connection and you have a decent computer, and all the other distros you have tried work just fine. So months ago, you were trying Deepin, it looks like. You did some online searching, it looks like, in the Linux community. Can you tell me how to solve the issue? Any guidance on this will be really helpful. Thanks, and keep up the good work. You are awesome. Hey, I'm going to give you double thumbs. I'm going to give you a thumbs up here. Anytime somebody says Linux Quest is awesome, you're going to get a thumbs up. All right, no, all kidding aside. Abid, I would say that, well, first of all, anyone watching this, if you have some ideas, Abid, what I've done in the past when I've tried Deepin is simply go through the process of trying the different mirrors for the servers to see which one works best, and that doesn't always mean that it's going to be the mirror pointing to your closest country or region. And right now that's about the best advice I could give you. Otherwise, anyone watching this, if you could jump in and add some advice or anything you've done that may help Abid with his situation, that would be greatly appreciated. We are a community and we want to help as much as we can. Patrick Sean, you voted yes. I would if I had a system that could run it. So, yep, you definitely want a, should I say, newer system or a fairly strong system, because It can slow down on you at times. There's a lot going on within Deepin in the looks department that I think causes it to feel like it's lagging some on a system that's got lower resources. Let's see here. Ricey or Ricey, I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Riseekr voted no. So thank you for your vote. You tried, but you didn't like it. Never found heavy customization. Good looking distro, very eye appealing. I'll get easily on my main distro that was thinking to going back to Deepin OS again. So let me reread this. You tried, but you didn't like it, and it never found heavy customization. So there's not a lot of customization that you can do within Deepin. You did think it was eye appealing, and you're just going to keep going with your main distro, and you're not going to go back to Deepin OS again. So that makes sense why you voted no. You gave it a try. You realize there's not a lot of customization that you can do, and that's very true. So you'll just never go back to Deepin. So thank you very much for your vote. Austin Huffman voted no. It's Chinese origin, brings on suspicion that they are tracking. You can't verify it or really debunk it, so you're going to leave that at the speculation. So you go on to say that it's based off of Debian, and that doesn't work for you. You prefer Arch distros. So this is a case where definitely you could try, say, Manjaro or Antergos with the Deepin desktop and use it that way. So the D is based off of a weird love child of GTK and Deepin's own toolkit. Performance issues of GTK carried over, and so they were weird, unsupported proprietary nature of Deepin's toolkit makes it difficult to use. It looks nice, but it's trying to reinvent the wheel with all of its own design, and it's fashionable but not customizable. It just isn't as flexible as I would prefer. So Austin, again, thank you very much for your vote. All right, well, that covers this edition of the community poll, and again, I really enjoy this, and if you would like to chime in on the next poll, please do so, and just know that I'm going to continue to make these videos reading through you, the viewers' comments. So I think this kind of information is helpful to not only the Linux Quest community, but to anyone who may be considering a certain distro like Deepin. They may read through these comments, and it may help them to assess if this is something they want to try or not. So, there's no scientific information behind this. This is just the viewers of Linux Quest jumping in to give their 2 cents worth in this poll. So we can't tell you one way or the other whether your results will be good or bad. But again, maybe this will give you some insight. So thanks to everyone who voted. And as always, thanks for watching.